Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Epoxy, and the beta release for Fall of Forest Update version 1.3 has now been dropped and is available for you to enable via Steam. So I'll be going through the massive list of what this update adds, changes, and fixes, along with also showing you how to install it near the end of the video. If that's all you're here for, I'll be leaving a timestamp on screen now, so you can go ahead and head to that section of the video. So what are the new features that the beta update 1.3.45 bring to the table? Well, firstly, it adds a whole new ambient occlusion setting called HBAO+, essentially a higher quality and more advanced AO than that of SSAO. I personally don't see any FPS change as well. Moving on, we also have a whole new selection in the launcher, which gives us an ability to enable a whole new debris effect. However, this is actually for NVIDIA users only, as it does use PhysX. I personally have to say I wasn't actually expecting whole new features like this to be added this late on in the game, so I have to say props to Bethesda, I guess. This feature is very small, but I personally loved playing with it, and I just have to say I love debris effects with physics. The rest of the new features include an added status menu for settlers in your settlement, an added ability to rotate an object you are holding with left/right triggers, and pressing down on the left thumbstick lets you switch the rotating axis. And lastly, improved ESDF keys remapping support while in workshop mode. Now for the gameplay fixes. We've got the obvious general memory and stability improvements, of course. Improved performance when looking through a scope. Fix for the issue where the player could warp to a different location when aiming. I have to say I've seen many videos on that issue. Fix for companions getting stuck with radiation poisoning. Fix an issue where Vault 81 residents would not dismember correctly. Big Leaks perk now displays calculated damage correctly. Fix an issue with the third-person camera not displaying properly after exiting certain crafting stations. Fix an issue where subtitles would occasionally not update properly. Effects will now be properly removed on companions when items are unequipped. McCready's kill shot perk now calculates headshot percentages properly. Fixed an issue with NPCs getting stuck in power armor. Fixed a rare issue with companions getting stuck in downstate. The second rank of Aqua Boy now calculates properly. Fixed an issue with resistance not always lowering the damage correctly when added by mods. Enabled number of characters available when renaming an item. This fix is for Xbox One. Fixed an issue with the player becoming dismembered while still alive. Robotics Expert is now usable in combat. And a quick spoiler alert for Curry. Stimpaks can now be used on Curry after the transformation. And lastly, playing a holotape found in the wilderness while switching point of view no longer causes the screen to blur or controls to be locked. Moving on to the quest fixes. Fix for an issue with taking Independence where the Minutemen remaining from the battle against the Mirelurk Queen would not gather in the castle. Fix an issue where the invulnerable character would get stuck in combat. Fix an issue where Preston would send the player to a settlement instead of a dungeon as a part of a Minutemen quest. Fix an issue where synths could attack the castle while the player was still friends with the Institute. Fix an issue where killing a caravan would leave a quest open. Fix an issue where Dogmeat would stay at Fort Hagen after Reunions was completed. Fix an issue where the player couldn't talk to Desdemona to complete Underground Undercover. Fix an issue where the player could get stuck exiting the cryopod. Fix an issue where the player could no longer get Preston as a companion. In the end of the line, fix an issue that would prevent the player from killing the leaders of the railroad. Fix an issue with the Minutemen quest repeating improperly. Fix an issue where the player couldn't get back into the railroad headquarters after being kicked out of the Brotherhood of Steel. After finishing the Big Dig, fix an issue where Hancock would no longer offer to be a companion or help with the Silver Shroud quest. Fix an issue with obtaining the dampening coils from Saugus Ironworks before going to Yangtze. During Unlikely Valentine, fix an issue where the player would be blocked from entering Vault 114. In Confidence Man, Bull and Gauger can now be killed. During Taking Independence, fix an issue that would prevent the radio transmitter from powering up. In Human Error, fix an issue where killing Dan would cause the quest to not complete properly. And lastly, fix an issue with Tactical Thinking, where leaving dialogue early with Captain Kells to reprogram Pam could cause the quest to not complete properly. Moving on to the workshop fixes, fixed a bug that would cause settler counts to appear incorrectly. Fix an issue that could prevent the player from setting up a supply line in settlements with a high population. Improvements to snapping pieces together while in workshop mode. Thank you, Bethesda. Fix an issue that caused powered items to stop functioning permanently if its power source was ever removed. Player can now build workbenches in their Diamond City house. Building wires no longer use copper. thankfully, once again. Fix an issue with certain settlement attacks not generating properly. Fix an issue with settlement happiness calculations. Settlers assigned to weapons stand will now stand next to it. The Diamond City house now shows provided power. Repairing items will now correctly consume resources. Fix an issue where companions would ignore commands at the workshop locations. And lastly, fix an issue with the crops appearing destroyed after saving and reloading. And that is the massive update for version 1.3. I know some people might not even watch to this point of the video because it just sounds really annoying. And I'm sure there were some people that just couldn't watch to this point of the video, so I do apologize for that. But I just want to make sure that you guys know everything that's in this fix in case you were having any of these problems and you want to go ahead and install this beta update right away. Also, keep in mind this may not be the final and more changes may be implemented in the full release. Now, for those of you that want to install this big boy on Steam, you'll want to go ahead and open up your Steam library as seen on screen. Right-click Fallout 4, select Properties, select the Betas menu, open the drop-down and select Beta 1.3. Close the properties window and the beta update should now be installed, or at least should be installing. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, then I'd love it if you would smack that like button down below and subscribe to join the good fight. If you haven't already, it would be super greatly appreciated. But until next time, this is Epoxy, signing off.